Hello, you're listening to the Oklahoma On Stage podcast. Thank you for joining us. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can leave us any comments or questions by emailing us at oklahomaonstage@gmail.com or by using the comment form on our website at oklahomaonstage.org. And now, we take you to a very special interview with your host, Tim Jolly.
Oklahoma on stage, the stories come alive. With drama, dance, and music, the arts always thrive. From center stage to backstage lore, Oklahoma on stage, there's always something more.
Welcome back to Oklahoma On Stage. I'm Tim, as always, your host. And today we are actually sitting in the park in Edmond. You could probably hear the music going on behind me. There's a concert going on. We're going to compete with this today, but I think we're going to be okay. I've got a couple of guests, at least one right now. The other one should be joining us soon. I know you've heard the story over the last few weeks, but if you haven't, let's give you a little bit of a recap. So these two young ladies, Maggie Lawson, Liberty Welch, they were set to co-direct Boy My Greatness, a queer-themed play by Zoe Sinise Grossberg. The show explores gender roles in Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, back when young boys played all the female characters due to the ban on women performing. Despite initial approval, the university canceled the production, citing Oklahoma State Bill 796, which restricts state-funded institutions from supporting activities perceived to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion. The students were left confused as the play doesn't use modern LGBTQ plus terminology and was cast inclusively with cisgender, non-binary, and gender-diverse actors. The university later referenced contractual concerns and potential Title IX violations, but critics argue these may be pretexts. The students instead rallied community support. They raised their own funds and are now staging the show independently. So, Oklahoma On Stage family, join me in welcoming right now Maggie Lawson to the podcast.
Hello.
So, Maggie, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm Maggie. I'm from Colba, Oklahoma, born and raised there. I'm 20 years old. I'm a junior theater performance major at the University of Oklahoma. And yeah, I've been doing theater. I started doing theater my freshman year of high school, and so I've only been doing it for around 6 years if I do my math correctly, which I don't think I am, but just a handful of years.
Okay, so what is your major?
Theater performance.
Okay. Why'd you choose theater performance?
So I actually was set out to be a music education major, but then the back half of my senior year of high school, I got really involved in the theater program and all the stuff that entailed, and I was like, you know what? You only live once. This is what I really, really like doing, and I like music education, but if I had to pick a degree here, it would be doing theater. So I actually started at the University of Oklahoma as a theater education major, and then I made the switch from education to performance my freshman year, my sophomore year.
Why'd you switch?
I switched because when I was thinking about performing versus educating, I leaned more to the performance side, and I would have loved to be an educator, and if that's in my thesis, so I would still like that, but I wanted to focus more on the performance aspect of it and see where that would take me.
So you weren't concerned about a paycheck?
No. My philosophy has always been I'd rather be happy and poor than rich and sad.
There you go. There you go. So why UCO?
UCO, I looked online and it had the most community engagement, between students and the community around them. It just seemed to have a lot of students involved in a lot of different things, and I really, really liked that. It was more important to me about me having a fun time at the university than going to university with a big brand name.
Makes sense. Okay, so let's kind of jump into the deep end here, or at least the middle end. And let's talk about Boy My Greatness. What drew you to this play?
So Liberty found this play our freshman year. She was on the bus to go to an acting contest somewhere you feel go to, and she assists can play thing for like content and monologues and stuff. And so she found Boy My Greatness. She read it in like 2 hours on the slug ride, and she texted me and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you would love this." And so we both got together and we read it, and we decided that we wanted to produce this together, like pitch to produce this at UTO together, because it fits our student bodies so well. Like, we're all theater kids, we all know Shakespeare, it deals with Shakespeare, we love Shakespeare, but also it deals with like sexuality stuff and gender stuff that I know Liberty experiences and the people around us experience. And it's at UTO Theater, we've dabbled in stories that deal with like sexuality, but we really haven't done anything that talks about gender. And so we really wanted to push that because a lot of our student body can relate to that. And we specifically like that it doesn't use any of the terms, because sometimes people don't have terms to describe how they feel. It's just a feeling. And that's what this play, in my opinion, perfectly expresses. So that's why we chose it. That's why we like it.
So tell me about this process that you guys were involved in. You guys have to submit a play to produce at the theater?
Yes, so we have a student organization. We were previously Alpha Psi Omega. We were a Greek life organization, but this past year we moved away from that. We didn't want people to have to pay dues. We're a smaller theater department, so we didn't have enough people to make the dues cost less. And so we moved from Alpha Psi Omega and we started a new organization, the University of Oklahoma Theater Societies. But we kept all of the same practices. So every year, two students picked, and we picked two student directors and one director to do a device piece to the student organization. And so we pitched last year to a board of students and faculty. And so you go in, you make a 10-minute presentation about like what show you want to do, how you expect to do it, why you want to do it at UPO, and then the faculty and the students, they decide who they would like to pick, and me and Liberty got picked, and that was kind of the process of it. But we had been working on our pitch since fall of our sophomore year, so this time last year.
So you guys already had a really good idea going into what you wanted to do?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So describe to me, you kind of hit on it a little bit, describe to me the themes of this show that really drew you guys in.
Like I talked about before, like the themes of gender and the non-labeling of it, that really drew us in. But it talked about something to me that is very interesting and is not talked about a lot, and it's the feelings of actors and how if you do it in the wrong way, it can become dangerous. Like de-rolling has become something in the acting community that I feel is relatively new. Like in high school, I had no idea about it, and really like until the second semester of my freshman year, we didn't really talk about it. Like separating yourself as the actor from the character, and that you are a person and you are not your character. And it talks about that a lot and how damaging that can be, especially on young actors, because I mean, when you're young and you like acting, it's just like, I do this, I throw myself into it, but you never really get taught that, like, there is a dangerous way that you can do this stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's real easy to get wrapped up in a character to where you actually take the character home with you and it becomes part of you. It's always something to be said when we talk in theater about putting a little bit of yourself into every role that you play.
Yes.
But it's also, like you said, the dangerous side of it when a little bit of that character becomes part of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, which I mean, I think there's a little bit of that happens to all of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, there is a dangerous level, and you know, for young actors especially, when they don't know the difference, it can be kind of damaging. So, okay, so you've presented this. The university gave you the go ahead. When did that happen?
So we presented this it would have been May of this year, so May 2025.
Okay.
And we learned about a week later that we had gotten picked. And so over the summer, we worked on all of this stuff, like what we want our set to look like exactly, costumes, how we're going to source that kind of stuff. And so we got together a lot over the summer and just talked about that kind of stuff, preparing for the upcoming school year. And then the second week of classes, we had our auditions and our callbacks. And then we casted our show. And then we had sent, I want to say the beginning of July, we sent our contract that we got from Zoe to the school, or to our head of department's like secretary, and she sent it up to the school because they have to, our legal department has to approve it, so that we can buy the rights using our student organization funds. And so we did that at like the beginning of July, and then 3 weeks into school, Tuesday, September 2nd, the day after Labor Day, that's when we were told that we weren't allowed to do it at UCO.
So, did it come in an email? Did it come in a phone call? How did that work out?
So the way we both found out is a little different, and I wish Liberty was here to say her side of it, but I can say it for you. Liberty's just in class, and she got a phone call from our head of department, and our head of department said, I need to speak with you, like, can you talk? And so Liberty went to speak with her, and she was like, I am so sorry. I just got emails today from the dean of the college the dean of the College of Fine Arts, that the contract got all the way up through legal, and every way up the way they were like, we don't want to do this, but we're scared, and they told us that we couldn't do it. And so that's how Liberty found out. And then I found out because Liberty texted me after she had that conversation and said, Maggie, I need you to get here ASAP. And I always kind of knew in the back of my mind that this could have been an issue, but I was like, never in a million years would that happen. But then I got that text from her, and I was like, this is probably what it is. So
and what did they tell you as far as why they were saying no?
Originally she just told Liberty that it was like a no, like it got up to legal, they had some concerns about it, and it was just no. And then we had a second meeting with the head of department where it was both of us, and she was like, they said it was because of Bill 796 that was passed July 1st that talks about DEI and not using state allocated funds, but we were never given a specific reason. They cited the bill, but there was never a specific reason. So we went and read the bill to try to make our own like inferences on like why did you do this?
Sure. Okay. So, did you receive any guidance or clarification from university leadership on how the show violated that? Like you said, they didn't give you a whole lot of explanation, but
all we know is that it was because of Bill 796. After that, we were kind of left on our own to make up for ourselves what we think happened. We were never given any, like, this is specifically why.
Now, I understand there was later conversations and contract negotiations with the author, the playwright. How did that unfold, and what changed?
So, I don't really know. All I know is that she received a separate contract from the university, that they had made some changes to it and that they wanted her to sign it. I know that she did not sign it. But really, that's all I know about that specific situation. I know she talking with the Drama Guild about it, because she was like, that's kind of my union, but the playwrights union.
Sure.
And so she sent it to them. They told her not to sign it. She didn't sign it. And that's all I know about that.
So, obviously, you had communication with the playwright.
Yes.
Has she been supportive in your efforts?
Oh, yes. So supportive. Liberty started talking to her back when she originally inquired about rights. And I want to say it was sometime during 2024. I don't know exactly when, but Liberty contacted her through New Play Exchange and was like, hey, I want to inquire about rights to the show. And she got in contact with her. And we've been texting and Zooming with her ever since. And so the moment we found out, we actually, back in April and May of this year, right around the time we were pitching, we had a Zoom meeting with her just to talk about things. And we brought it up and we were like, it is a little scary doing this in Oklahoma because of some of the laws that we have, because of the way Oklahoma's kind of tricky sometimes with what you can and can't do. And she was like, well, you don't think it's going to be a problem, do you? And we were like, no, never in a million years will that ever be a problem. And then it was a million years. And so the moment that we found out, we texted her and we were like, we're going to self-produce this. This is what we're going to do. And from immediately she was on board. And she was like, yeah, we can set up a payment plan to buy her the rights, because at that point, like, we knew that we had $1,600. That's what the student organization gives us to produce our shows. And so at that point, we were at a point where we were like, we have no money. We have no venue. We're college students. I don't have $500 to pay for rights to self-produce this show.
Sure.
And so, yeah, we texted her, and immediately she was so supportive.
So you were given the opportunity, you were given the choice to come up with a new show, come up with a new play, or to produce this independently. Why was it so important for you to do this on your own?
She's backstage. Because of the content of the play, there's a storyline in the play, and there's this Puritan preacher, and he was a former boy player, and he doesn't agree with what they're doing, and they want to shut the theater down. And so it talks about that a lot in the play, and we looked at each other and we were like, if we choose a different play, or if we don't do this play at all, we are going against what this play stands for, part of what this play stands for. And so we were like, we don't need to pick another play. We don't need to do anything different because this is the story we want to tell. And I'm big about, like, not censoring things. I think this play is historical. Like, it's written about historical events that actually happened. And also, theater in general, it doesn't even have to be historical. You shouldn't censor art, and you shouldn't censor history. So I immediately was like, I don't want to do this, because if we do that, we're doing what they want us to do.
That's a good point. Good point. You know, it reminds me, her story almost reminds me a lot of Footloose.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost the same story, you know. It's like the preacher trying to tear down the dancing and all that. So, so okay, you made the decision to put this on. You started a GoFundMe.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you don't have the money, so you got to find it somewhere. Maybe you can find it from the community. And what was the response?
So, we started the GoFundMe Tuesday night for the same day we found out that we weren't allowed to do it. And then by the time we woke up the next morning, we had already raised like $1,000, somewhere around the $1,000 range. And we set the goal for $2,000, which was being generous. We were like, that's going to be enough to buy the rights and buy a space. And we don't really need a big, elaborate costume set. Theater is so good when it's guerrilla style, if you want to call it that.
Sure.
So we were like, we don't need much. And so we set out for a $2,000 goal. And then we well exceeded that by a lot.
Do you know what your final dollar amount was?
$9,862, I want.
Oh, way to go, Oklahoma.
A lot of money. And it wasn't even just people from Oklahoma, because we made a TikTok account, and that got everywhere so fast. And there's people from all different states that are like, I want to come to this show, I want to support this show. Just crazy. But yeah, the support has been so much, and like a little bit overwhelming, but like overwhelming in a good way. You never, like, Liberty says this a lot, we expected to get like $200 and a pat on the back, but people like rode for us at dawn, and it was just crazy.
So you had to go through this whole process of getting the rights, which apparently with that kind of money was easy to do.
Yeah.
But then you had to find a space, you had to get everything set up, you had to create blocking, you have to do all of that kind of stuff at the last minute. Talk to me about how all that went.
So, it was very stressful, because we were like, we had a space, we had everything, and we had a set amount of time. But us self-producing it now, we were able to give ourselves an extra 2 weeks of rehearsal. So we were originally supposed to go up October 9th to 12th. Now we're going up October 23rd through the 26th. So we gave ourselves some more time. It's been stressful trying to figure out how everything is going to come together and get done. But now we have such a community behind us, and all of the students that we are doing this with, they have also been so supportive, like our actors, our tech, everything. They've just been so supportive. So it's been a little hard, but it's getting easier because of how much help that we have.
Well, that's awesome. That's really, really awesome. So did you face any pushback or any challenges along the way of producing this?
Not really. I mean, we received like a handful of hate comments of people just being, I don't want to say nasty, because everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but people just not agreeing with what we're doing. But generally, it's all been supportive. Along the way, there have been no like crazy amount of pushback that's been like, whoa, that's crazy. It's mostly been support.
That's awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. So, looking back, what do you think this experience says about the role of student theater in today's political climate?
I think it just highlights how important it is. I young people like me and Liberty, we are the future, I guess you could say, of what theater is going to become. And I feel like a lot of the people that we've talked to that are students our age in theater have been like, this is so important because this is like, these are the stories that we want to tell. And I think this whole situation has just highlighted to people that like the things. Oh, I'm thinking. It's just important to let anybody tell the stories that they want to, no matter what it is, no matter who they are, where they are, how old they are. It's theater. Theater matters. Stories matter.
Sure. You got things in your head you want to tell it. Go ahead. You got the mic in your hands.
I know.
I mean, you think about, you look back over the history, even of theater. I mean, at one point, people would have thought putting To Kill a Mockingbird on stage would have been atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
Just putting, just black performance on stage, period.
Mm-hmm.
And then to put on a mixed race marriage in the show, or, anything like that. And so eventually things, as society changes and everything else, come on in.
Nice to meet you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming in Liberty at this point. So, now that we're almost done with all the questions, we can let her. But no, I'm gonna go ahead and let her introduce herself. So, this is Liberty. Liberty, tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is Liberty Welch. This music is. I'm feeling crazy to the mic. Like, okay, sorry.
Yeah, because we are competing, so
I know.
it's all good.
What are they doing? Yeah, I'm a junior theater education, theater performance double major. I'll rep my high school alma mater. I graduated from class in SAS. So I'm at Performing Arts High School. I like theater. I like it a lot.
Nice. So I'll ask some of the same questions I asked her. What made you choose theater?
Ooh, what made me choose theater? That's hard. I actually grew up I wanted to be an animator. So I actually went into class as a visual arts major, and I did a lot of drawing and like media work. But I've always loved theater. It was just taking that step of, like deciding to make it a craft. I feel like a lot of people think theater is a talent, and it's not. Theater is something that you have to work on really hard. And I just kind of decided that I wanted to do it. I loved it so much that I was willing to, pour blood, sweat, and tears into it, and take the next step to like really focus on it and work on it. And then of course, theater education. I love teaching, so just another avenue.
So why UCO?
Why UCO? UCO is one of the only programs in the nation that has a theater education programs. Specifically, I go to UCO because of Colin Andrulanis. I'll call him out by name. I love Colin Andrulanis.
Shout out, Colin.
Yeah, shout out Colin.
They love you.
Well, I love him dearly. One of the most kindest, most bestest people I've ever met. And again, just like literally every class I have with him feels like Dead Poet Society. I feel like I'm inspired. It's like
don't stand on the table.
Yeah, I know. It feels so inspiring, and so I just keep coming back because I know that I'm going to learn something new and feel inspired every day.
And it's because of good teachers like that we create good teachers.
Exactly. And Colin will deny all of this to his heart, and I think that makes it even more endearing.
Of course. Of course. Okay, so kind of, just a few of the things that we've been talking about. And if you, echo the same thing she said, it's absolutely fine. That just lets me know that you guys are of one mind. So.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I understand that you read this your freshman year on a plus trip. Yeah. Read it in 2 hours. So you read it in a full theater setting. What drew you to this?
Oh, well, I first saw TikTok. They had a couple of TikToks go viral, And it was very reminiscent of like, I didn't really know that there weren't girls in, I guess I should have known that, but I didn't know that there were boy players before I really started studying and going into the dramaturgy of this play. And so it was just really interesting to go into a play with like absolutely no idea whatsoever. And then also the idea, like, one of my favorite things about the play is it's about queer people, but none of the language that we use today is used then. So it is just the emotion of being queer. There's no labeling, there's no deciding what label to use. It is just purely what these people feel like. And that right now I think is super, that speaks to me right now as someone who is young and, you know, I'm learning as I'm going. It was just nice to see that is an avenue that I don't have to decide. You don't have to put a label on anything. It doesn't have to be political. You can just feel those things and not have any opinion on it. You just hear them. And I think that's what really should make it a play. Yeah.
Why is it so important for you to do this now?
Oh, yeah. And it's so weird to get questioned like this because it's like, for me specifically, I don't know why. I don't see it as political. I don't even see myself as political. And so, it wasn't even like to do it now to make a statement. It was just to do it because I feel like this and my friends feel like this and this is something you connect to. It's just a story to tell. It wasn't supposed to be a political statement.
Right.
And so, now it's important because, you know...
It is a political statement
now it's a political statement, which I'm like...
So you said it was a political statement or not a political statement. So they gave you the option to, you know, find another play or to put this on yourselves. So why was it so important for you to continue and do this yourself?
Maybe I should say it differently, but for me specifically, it felt like it was an attack on my identity. And that, I know it was supposed to be that, but the first thing was like, well, if I can't do a play about people who feel like me, am I not allowed to feel that way here at the university that I pay to go to? And that was a big thing of like, well, now I have to do the play because I'm a very big proponent. If someone tells me I can't do something, I'm going to do it anyway. And so the minute that they were like, you can either pick another play or you can do that, I was like, I'm not picking another play. Have you lost your mind? And
right?
So I was like, I have to.
Okay. Okay, so she said that you got the notice first.
Yeah.
So you get a phone call while you're in class.
Yeah.
How did that conversation go?
So I was in Art Voice and Movement 3 class, a very important class to get back. I got a text and it was like, I need to talk to you ASAP. And I was like, oh no, I'm in trouble. I didn't do anything. I knew I didn't do anything, but I was like, I'm in trouble. And so I stepped out in the hall and called her and I was like, hey, like, what's up? Like, what's wrong? What fire just got lit? And she was like, I can't tell you over the phone. Or like, I wouldn't want to tell you over the phone. Like, can you talk after class? And I was like, yeah.
So let's prolong it.
Yeah, scariest thought. I did not pay attention to things. Sorry, Kelsey Fisher-Ways, our professor. I didn't listen to the rest of that class because I was just sitting there and I was like, I'm about to get kicked out of the program. I'm done. I'm cooked. Yeah, I remember her, before she texted me to come there, after she actually had her conversation, she texted me and she was like, Maggie, I'm in trouble, I'm gonna get kicked out, and I said, you know, I don't think that's why she wants to talk to you, but like, sure. Yeah, so, again, Maggie just, you know, prolonging my thoughts. So then we talked after class, and she just, the first thing that popped into both of our minds was that the show was canceled, but that was like, me and Maggie are chronic overthinkers, so we were like, no, that's not what's gonna happen. That, you know, it's fine. It's not gonna happen. That's not even an option that we're gonna do. And then I don't want to say that I saw it on her face, but I saw her face and I was like, are we allowed to curse? Oh, I was like, oh fuck. Like, I know what's about to go down. And she kind of said on, she was really fearful. She's like, I'm so sorry. You know, you can't do the play. And then she kind of get inside Isabel, and I was like, okay. I got really careful, so obviously it was just like a mix of emotions. And then it was like the 2 off the year, you can either produce or pick a new play. And I heard the word pick a new play, and I was like, well, can we do some rehearsal? And then it was like, she was like, you can classes, you don't have to go to class for the rest of the day. I was like, okay, cool, great. And I was like, okay, we'll figure this out. Let's call Maggie.
So what was going through your mind at this time?
It honestly was shock, and in my statement, I put that I was like fearful. I don't know if fearful is the right word. It was like a slap in the face because, and I'll say this, I've said this a couple of times in different interviews. UC is known for being a gay school. Like, we have so many queer people there, especially like openly and proud queer people, to be told no and then to be cited in Oklahoma law, and like, I was just in shock because I have never, and thank God I have the privilege, I have never experienced discrimination because of like my sexuality or gender, because I grew up in central Oklahoma City in a very accepting, like I grew up right next to 39th Street. I grew up in a very accepting community. And so it was just like it genuinely was shocking. It was the first, like I zoomed out. I was like, this is crazy. And yeah, it's still crazy now. I'm very serious. You turn the corner and you see a gay person. It's not even like, it's crazy.
So did that give you like a fire to do this, or what?
Yeah. Oh yeah. My mom, people have been asking my mom about it, and my mom's favorite thing to say about me specifically is, I just won't take no for an answer, ever. And so, it like, genuinely for a second, they had to take me back, because I was like, oh, we're gonna do this. Like, Maggie had to pull me back, it was really bad. I was like, I'm gonna do this guerrilla warfare style, like, we're gonna do this underground, and we're gonna pretend that this is a speakeasy. I'm gonna pretend we're doing a different show, and her and a couple of our other friends and professors were like, Liberty, you cannot do that, you will get expelled. And I was like, I don't even care anymore, I'm gonna do the show anyway. And that's why we're glad Maggie's here, because if I was directing this alone, I would have got expelled.
We all need checks and balances.
Yeah.
So
very good cop, bad cop. I meant to say that. We need a buddy cop.
there you go. So so the community has rallied around you guys, raised a lot of money, given you lots of resources to do this stuff. I understand you guys have a space working with Upstage Theatre here at Edmond. That's fantastic. Shout out to Upstage for coming alongside these young ladies and helping to support them. So I asked her this question too, and I want to hear your opinion. Looking back, what do you think this experience says about the role of student theater in today's political climate? Now that you see that it is a political statement.
Yeah, now that I know it's a political statement and I can't just do the plays I want to do. That's hard. It's this is hard. Yeah, it's a good question. Good question. It shows to me, and I really can't speak. I don't want to say it's a gendered issue, but as women, especially young women, unfortunately, sometimes, especially in the arts, unfortunately, we are seen as stupid on occasion. And it really frustrates me that it feels like they've tried to pull a heat over our heads and tried to get a fast one on us when we are two almost fully college-educated women. And it frustrates me that we as students have to fight it, and it was supposed to be, what I think the outcome was supposed to be, that me and Maggie were supposed to be like, oh, you told us not to do the show, oh, the pay, we'll make another show, I'm sorry that we won't do it. It surprised me that they thought we weren't going to fight that, but again, I've never met any of them, so maybe they didn't know.
I think it was probably more a student control issue than it was a female thing. Yeah. Because I wanted to say this right now. Whatever perception that is that you got with that, get that out of your head, man. Because I can tell you, like I said, I've been doing this for over 30 years. Yeah. Some of the most powerful people that I've come across in this theater world have been women.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree.
As far as, I mean, some of the best designers, some of the best directors, some of the best actors have been women. And so, and take a note from the playwright that you guys are working with. I mean, just to write something in this vein takes a lot. And so, there's a lot that you can draw from there. And so.
No, and I totally agree. I think, obviously, like, in the theater aspect, I definitely don't think that way, but knowing now that the message came from a higher up power in our university, the Council of Most Women, maybe it's not that, and maybe I'm speculating, but I do think it was a student control thing, and I do think they tried to start really small, and it could get bigger, but they don't tell me what to do, so I'm gonna do it anyway.
So how this whole process and everything, how has this shaped your views on artistic freedom, institutional support, and then advocacy?
Oh yeah. Also, wow, such a great question. You have the best questions out of everyone I think we've been interviewed by. Wow.
Really? Eat that, Playbill.
No. Just these are very in depth because we have a little bit more. It was so surprising to me. Growing up in Oklahoma City is severely underfunded everywhere. Even going to a charter school, we were pretty underfunded. I really did, and I've said this in every interview before, I really did think we were going to get like $200 and a pound on that. It was like, you can do this in the park, live this in the ED, and I thought we were going to get like hate comments. I thought it was going to be like now I knew we were taking it to Trump. I was like, okay, now it has to be political, and now we're going to get, this, that, and whoever is going to be like, the art's no matter, rah, 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 rah. But it is surprisingly, like, people really support the arts. Especially here in Oklahoma, and so it's really heartwarming. It's heartwarming to know that I can do this. I feel like sometimes theater production and doing theater feels like it's out of touch, and now I know it's not. You just have to like ask for the help that you are.
Exactly.
And yeah.
and I'll tell you right now, again, having done this for a very, very long time, one of the things that you will run across, and now that you've been hit in the face with something like this, you'll run across that imposter syndrome on a regular basis. I'm not qualified to do this. I'm not good enough to do this. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe they just didn't know. And what we tell everybody all the time, there's a spot, a place for everybody in theater. Yeah. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be, an Oscar-winning, performer, which that's all, subjective anyway. Any of the awards, that give people spotlight, they're all subjective. We don't have to be that notoriety. There's places, even for people that aren't outgoing or aren't, extroverted, there's places behind the scenes, where you can be creative. Yeah. Some of the best people in the world, as far as artistic goes, are set designers, just putting their creativity on stage. And so, yeah, it really theater is something for everybody.
Yeah, I think, especially as a theater education major, I talk about this a lot in our classes, discussing why children want to go into the arts and why they want to do things. I think it is inherently human to want to perform, and it's inherently key into what can carry your experience. And I think everyone can do theater. I think everybody can do art, and I don't think it needs to be something that is only people who are outgoing can do it.
Think about it. From the beginning of time, that's how we shared our history, was telling stories.
Yeah.
And so I've said it to numerous people, that inherently that's what we are as actors, as storytellers. We have to be able to tell those stories. If we don't have a story to tell, we kind of feel weird. So
yeah.
So I applaud you guys. So what message do you hope your production sends to other student artists?
You already answered. Yeah. No. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
No, but she wants to.
Okay, you go ahead. Oh, sorry. Can you say the question again? It left my brain.
She got so excited she forgot what.
I know.
Okay. What message do you hope your production sends to other student artists?
My main thing is just that you are good enough and you are qualified enough, and all you have to have is the passion to do it and a dream. I've never said this in an interview yet, but this is my first time directing, which is crazy, first time ever directing. But even before all of this happened, I went into it thinking I feel a little out of depth, but I'm going to do this because I want to do this and I have the will to do it. And I think that's the message I want to spread. It's just if you want to do something, do it. And there are going to be people to support you. And no matter the outcome of it, it's going to be good because it's something that you poured yourself into. And whatever you bring to the table, that is enough and that is good.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree. Beautifully said. I could never say it like that.
I thought she was just going to grab the microphone and go, ditto.
Yeah, no.
What she said.
Yeah, she got it. Yeah, I also like an amendment about like lean on your peers. If you're passionate about it, your peers are just as passionate. I think maybe I'll get a little too deep and philosophical. I feel like in an age of social media, it does feel, and even in the political climate, if we're gonna talk about how much show's political now, it feels like you can't lean on your community because everybody's scared of each other or everybody is so different. But it's just not. I don't know how we would do the show if we didn't have the people who are in our cast and crew, or even if we had our professors to lean on. There's people out there and they're willing to support you and they're there for you. You just have to ask and you have to make yourself available. And student theater is something that needs to be done because there are ideas that we have that sometimes cannot be executed by anybody else.
Nice. And you've got a message that a lot of us don't have too, so keep that in mind. So what's next for you? Artistically, academically, personally? I know you got a lot on your plate right now, but what's next?
So funnily enough, I'll plug Jonathan Young's show. Jonathan Young, we just had to be professor. I'm also casted in a show right now at UCO. Up, down, here, there. That'll be out in November. So there's tickets for that at the Black Box. And then, artistically and academically, I'm gonna be making theater till I die. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, or I'm just gonna keep going. I will never stop doing theater ever. Yeah. You have bigger plans.
Maggie, what about you?
You have much bigger plans. How about your grad school? Oh, so after this, I'm gonna keep going through UCO. I'm having a lot of fun. I've learned a lot. Oh yeah, I'm not dropping out either. I'll be at UCO too.
They're gonna have to run you out, right?
No. I have a year and a half left.
That's not a promotion, by the way.
I have a year and a half left, and then after that, I want to go to grad school. I think we have a professor, Kelsey Wade, love her, plugging her. She's been very open. Like, if any of you want to go to grad school, get with me, and we'll start working on it immediately. So I'm gonna start doing that, and I'm one of those people that I could degree shop until I die. Like, I could just be in school for the next 80 years of my life, and I would be fine with it. I love the schedule. I love learning. As long as it's theater. I don't like math and stuff, but if it's theater, I'll be there.
It took me 18 years to get a bachelor's degree.
18 years? Hey.
Because, again, like you said, I changed my major about 7 different times.
And power to you. You were just trying to get all the knowledge.
That's it. And none of it has done me any good. So,
but yeah, I'm gonna keep going the education route, and then after that, I don't know where I'll be, but I'll be somewhere, and I'll be happy because I'm doing what I love. So
you know, and two, as long as you're in school, you don't have to pay all that stuff back.
Oh yeah, and that's the plan. Yeah. That's why I'm going to grad school right after my bachelor's, because I don't want to pay all that back. Yeah, I agree.
No, we're not ripping off for the government or anything.
Yeah, don't tell them that. Yeah, we're just gonna keep getting degrees. It'll be fine.
So, if you could speak, and this is where we get a little deep, okay? If you could speak directly to university leaders or lawmakers, what would you want them to understand?
There's some colorful language I can't say on this podcast. No, we'll probably say, but in a nice and comfortable way, I will say that don't tell students they can't do things, and instead of canceling things and trying to further your gain in society, maybe focus on the students that you're dealing with now and not how to get further in your life, I guess I should say. That's the nicest way I can put that.
Okay.
She probably says it better. A less colorful way.
You're not looted and frets.
I just want to say, listen to the students. Listen to these young people that you are making these laws for, or you are making these declarations for, because while it may seem like you're doing the best thing for the community in the moment, there's all of these nuances and there's all of these thoughts and opinions that people can have. And I just feel like it's important to listen to all sides of the story, because you never know the full picture until you see it. And so I would just encourage lawmakers and higher up officials to like talk to the community. And I think that's been the biggest upset about this is like we were left out of all of the copper picture. None of these conversations were had with us. They're still not being had with us. And it's like, we're adults too, and we're supposed to be learning from you. So allow us to learn from you. And that's basically what I would say.
I like it.
I agree.
So
Much better than I did.
she wanted to say so much more, but you could see it on her face. Okay, you mentioned earlier, when do you guys present the show?
Oh yeah, we're gonna open October 23rd. All of our performances are at 7 p.m. and we're running until the 26th.
Will the public be able to come and see the show?
Yeah, the tickets will go on sale tomorrow, Friday at 8 p.m.
And how do they get those tickets?
The link for our Eventbrite will be in our TikTok bio and also in our Instagram bios. And I'm sure there's going to be like Facebook posts about it too. Yeah, we'll make mostly social media. That's where it's going to be circulated. Yeah.
And I'm sure that we'll have the link to that in the show notes of the show. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got, ladies. Y'all are awesome, and I want you to know that the Oklahoma On Stage community stands beside you through all of it.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been crazy. Myself and one of our actors, Jenny W., we both work at Science Museum Oklahoma in the Science Lab. We do live theater, science presentations. And Kendra Buchanan, our manager, is in community theater, and she loves to tell us all of the things that people have said because she's on all the call boards, talks to all the people, and she loves to be like, this person's talking about you, and this person's talking about you. She's so precious. It's so crazy to me that people are listening. I really thought people weren't gonna listen. So it's heartwarming. Yeah, cool. Yeah, we thank everyone and we thank you for Josh. Oh yeah, definitely. It's been so like crazy, but it's been so fun, and we're just so grateful.
Yes, you girls never thought you'd be celebrities, did you?
No. I know. I call my mom every night. Mom, I'm famous. I feel famous. I know. I didn't tell my mom about any of this. Like, it was Wednesday, so like the day after we found out. I didn't tell her about it until 30 minutes before we were on K4 News, and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, Mom. Like, people are talking about me right now, and it's a little scary." Yeah.
Hey, and just so you know, you don't think it's going to end anytime soon. Y'all are now riding a roller coaster, so.
It's so fun though. Everybody's been so nice. I will say the one thing that does shock us the most is talking to. And I'll say this on camera, or I guess on podcast. Talking to people from New York is so scary. We are so Southern hospitality. We are afeared sometimes. But it's been so fun. Everybody sits so nice. And we've got to talk to so many people he would never talk to. Even if we were to like go to grad school, graduate, never in our life would we ever talk to the like editor-in-chief of Playbill. And to be able to talk to her and her like tell us that what we're doing is good is that'll cure your imposter syndrome right there. And it's been crazy.
Exactly. Listen to it. You girls have a voice and you need to use it, and you're doing a great job. So
thank you.
Looking forward to seeing the show. Thank you guys for being here. For everybody else listening at home, thanks for taking time to listen, to support these young ladies. And if you can, remind me again of the dates, October
23rd through the 26th.
23rd through the 26th. Be sure and get your tickets. Go to UCO in the Black Box. Or you're going to be performing at Upstage, are you?
Yeah, we're performing at Upstage.
Okay, so they'll be performing at Upstage. So be sure to get out there and support them and tell them how good they are.
Yeah, thank you. Thank y'all.
And no matter what you do, we continue to support the arts.
Oklahoma on stage, the spotlight.